I've done a save as on our previous program, image search, and changed it to image search and info. Our goal is to achieve something like this. So now if I type in, let's see, like USA, we press search, what will happen is we will get this new button, which wasn't there before, only when you press search, called more information. And if you press that, it will give you some information on what you're looking for. And it will appropriately scale down to exactly where it needs to be. So I could type in, once again, toast, and we do get that more information button, and here's some information on toast. Using JWiki, we have 2 stages. I'm going to start us out by making a global or an instance variable up here called string current search and assigning it to a empty string. This will come in useful later. Now, what we're going to do is get that more information button, but hide it, because we don't want to see it until the user actually searches for something. You don't want more information on nothing, right? Only on something. So when we have that original button, this will be the more info button hidden at first. So let me close this and zoom in for you. We're going to make a button right here. We'll say this button is called info button, and we'll assign it to a new button that says more information. After that, we will set info button dot set preferred width to be 200. This should be new. Okay. And we are going to set the visibility on this, so info button dot set visible to be false. So we can't see it because we don't want to be able to see it until the user presses the search button. So it's false right now. And then we need a lambda, so something like info button dot set on action, and we can say set on action action event e. Give us our lambda arrow, curly brace, press enter. This should just about be our lambda expression. Incompatible types, parameter, event, there we go. Okay, so now if we press this button, this lambda would be triggered. So we don't want to do anything on this just yet. Instead, we want to work on that second stage that will pop up once we press this. So in order to do that, we're going to come down and make a new method, second stage, that will be used to present more information about the search subject. Public static void get info will take a string of j. This will be the JWiki. And what we're going to do here is say second stage and scene. So we'll say stage is the info stage equals new stage. Info stage dot, just get this copied, info stage dot set title can be j information, so the information based on whatever you're searching for, and then info stage dot set resizable should be true in case the text doesn't fit inside the stage we created. They should be able to expand that. We're going to create a text area, as we've seen in previous videos, and extract the text from Wikipedia. So we can say text area info equals new text area. We did see this in the previous example of the combo boxes, so it's pretty much rinse and repeat here. I'm going to set the font of what would be in here to be a font.font. Let's do a Verdana. The font weight on this can be normal. Size 16, because it's not a title or anything. Now, if you remember from that previous video where I showed you about wrapping text, that is definitely a lifesaver. So we will use the wrap text property here and assign that to be true. What did I do wrong? Oh, info.set wrap text property should be true. So we wrap our text as we go down. I showed you what happened with that before. If you didn't see that, please watch the video on the combo box with people where we add information and you can see exactly what that does. But just know for now, we definitely need this. I'll even add a comment here that says this is a lifesaver. Very important. Okay, then we'll make a JWiki object. JWiki equals new JWiki based on J, which is of course what the user passed to us right here. So once we have that, what we should do is we should create the scene that will of course go on our stage. Info scene equals new scene, info, and it should be this long and this high. Okay, then inside of that scene we will append some text. The text we will append is J, what comes out, with a \n, and jwiki.get extract text. So this would be the title, it's what you searched. We then have a new line, and then the extracted text from the Wikipedia page would go underneath it. That is what we're going for here. Let's do a colon. We don't want the box to be editable, so info.setEditable should be false. They shouldn't be able to change the Wikipedia information. And we do want to show the text. So infostage.show, otherwise it will be invisible. Now, there's a couple of things we have to do. If we run this, nothing will happen because we're not actually adding it. So let's try the following. So the first thing I'm going to do is remember that more info button right now cannot be seen. Let's make sure. Yeah, we can't see that. Even if I type something in, we can't see it. When do I want to see that more info button? Well, when I press search. Where do I press search? When the image is being set. So let's set the info button to be visible here. This is the more info button. We could do that by also passing a button here. We'll say IB for info button. We could say IB.setVisible is true, meaning if you call the set image, that means you're setting an image based on what the user searched, and we're going to assign the button for more information on that image to be true. Doing that would have broken our search button, but now we can pass that info button we made earlier. Running this through a test still doesn't pop up because we haven't added it to the scene perhaps. So let's go ahead and see if we can add it to the scene. And when we set the center, we're doing this, which is good, but we don't. Oh, we never actually added the info button down here, so it was never added to the vertical box. So adding it here should fix that issue. Now if I type in A, more info does pop up. Of course it doesn't do anything, but it had to be added down here to the vertical box, even though it's originally invisible, as you can see. As soon as I press search, what happens is we call the set image method with those two buttons. And the first thing that happens in the set image method is we assign that button to be visible of true, and we can see the button. Now let's make the button actually work. In order to make the button work, I believe what we want to do is come up to its lambda and say get info, passing it current search, which as we know right now is a blank string. So that is okay. Down here, when we set the center, let's see, we set the center, we set the title, everything looks good. What we should do is we get the text, let's update current search to be what is in the text field by saying current search equals search. And let's see if that is enough. Press more information. That is way too big. We'll fix that, but of course there's no information here. So So the reason for that is the way we're passing variables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a string up here called search. And lambdas are funny where you can only have local variables assigned in them. We can use ones like current search, but assigning them is different. So we will say search equals tf.getText. Okay, that's good. Get info current search. This tells us we're searching for the image that we're searching for. All right, let's see if anything different has happened now. It still has not. Okay, so let's change that sizing first of all, because that sizing is a bit ridiculous. Oh, this could be the problem. We never use info scene down here. So we are in the get info method. Info scene is right here. Now we should probably set the scene right here. Info stage dot set scene should contain the info scene, which would be this size, which is why we were getting that crazy window. Okay, that's good, that's good. But you can see the box appeared on top. Now one thing I want to try is see if we can actually, because I didn't realize that was the mistake we were running into, do we even need to do that? I'm thinking maybe no. Nope, we don't. Okay, so you can disregard that. We do not need to do that part. Everything works without it. So the only thing we have to do is make sure that we get, I don't know why I keep typing in cat, this box to come up not in the center of our screen. And that would be done in our get info down here. Now, what you can do with this is you can say info stage, which is the stage we're drawing, set the X value to be a certain position. So I could set to be 0, info stage dot set Y to be a certain position, 0, and let's see what that did. So that will be placed at 0, 0, which is the top left of my screen. I believe that's off recording, but you can probably see a bit of it if I drag it over here. If I change that again to like 100 and 100, we should see now that it's placed somewhere else. Oh, and it actually crashes when we don't type something in. That's okay. More information. Yep, and it pops up in a different position now. So after some trial and error, I found out that 680 by 710 is the position of my screen that I would prefer this to be in. So now if I type in hello, and I press search, and then I press more information. Oh, it can't find hello. So let's type in like the Beatles, maybe that will pop up. There we go, press more information, and it does pop up right here. Now let me do that one more time, run my program, and type in the Beatles again. Now the position I set it, sets it right below the window, assuming you haven't moved the window. So that 680 by 710 is directly below where the image opens up. And then we could close this window, and we could search for dogs, and then press more information, and we get the information on dogs. So that is an added component to the program, and you have a pretty fully fledged like search engine at this point, which is pretty impressive. Of course, the code could be cleaned up, but this is just really a walkthrough of how to create such projects and my thinking process of going through it. So hopefully you had some fun with this one, and we'll move on to the next one.